guys, and welcome to the last big box expansion for D-Day Dice review here on the World War II Solitaire board game channel. So we're taking a look at D-Day Dice 2nd edition expansion Overlord. This is an expansion I know that not many people know of and haven't really played. I can say this: if you are gonna get this expansion, you need to know that you need the other expansions as well to enjoy this. And when I'm saying you need the other expansions, I mean the other big box expansions. So you're gonna need A Way to Hell, War Stories, and Atlantic Val, mainly for the battle maps to fully enjoy this expansion. I have a detailed unboxing video of this expansion. If you're looking for a detailed unboxing, it is in the same playlist as this playlist as you're currently watching. So go ahead and go watch that if that's what you're looking for. This is a review from a solitaire perspective. Okay, so the first thing we get is some new general components, and actually this is one with a few of those, because the other games has a lot of new bonuses, general components, but here we only get one battle map and 4 new awards. So the new battle map we have is number 24, Strong Point Daimler. So you are gonna need this expansion if you want all of the 30 scenarios, because scenario number 24 is only found in this expansion. You have 4 new awards, and I'll give you a closer look on those. We have the Bronze Cross, the Cross of Valor, the Voluntary Service Medal, and the Order of the Red Cross. Of course, we have a set of rules to cover this expansion, and this set of rules also introduce us to some new bonus rules for the game. Here we have our bonus optional rules, which can be applied to any game of D-Day Dice. So about half a page of bonus optional rules. So we have 3 new modules, and I'm gonna do something a little bit different this time, because usually I go from module number 1 to module number 3, but this time the last 2 modules are not very big, so I'm gonna just go ahead and start with those. And basically module number 2 is a new playable nation, Greece. Module number 3 is also a new playable nation, Norway. These new nations come with their own RWB, their own set of RWB dice. You're not going to need those since you're playing solitaire. You already have those dice from the main game, but the new unit marker dice are a nice touch. Also, of course, you get a new set of specialists, which are, Norwegian and Greek, obviously. So 2 new playable nations, module number 2, module number 3. They also have their own player aid card, of course. And the RWB bonuses do differ a little bit from the other nations which you start with in the original game. So anyway, Norway, I think they perhaps did some commando raids as well, just like Poland did. Not sure about Greece, but maybe they had a part in some of these 30 scenarios, probably. So they can be cool to use if you want to have more of a historical game, or a historical accurate game. So those are module number 2 and module number 3, and that leads us to the first and last module, which is the main module, of course. And actually it's the only module which I haven't done a playthrough of yet. So I have to do that, of course, and it's coming. Stay tuned to the channel. So this module, it gives us a set of mulligan tokens. We have some gray tokens, also colored on the other side. We have a bunch here of neutral cards, but I've only tried the first campaign, and those aren't used there. I think they're probably used in the multiplayer. However, we do get the war correspondent and the rookie officer, and the rookie officer comes in every nation, and these are used while playing the campaign games. We get our campaign book, and then we get 3 player aids, 1 for each campaign. So we have 3 campaigns in this expansion in this module. Campaign A, The Longest Day, Campaign B, The Longest Night, and Campaign C, Blind Assault. And on the side of these player aids, we have the player aids for the multiplayer games, but we're not gonna look at those because we are solitaire players, right? Whoops, focus. So yeah, 3 campaigns. So how does it work? Well, actually it's kind of complicated, guys. I mean, we are used to playing D-Day Dice, which is quite a very light war game. But like I said, there are 3 campaigns. And let's start with campaign A, The Longest Day. You're actually gonna combine up to 9 battle maps. Look at that, isn't that cool? So basically that's what you're gonna need all of those other expansions for. And if you perhaps don't feel like playing this much of a game, maybe you don't have the time, you can also set it up in 2 smaller ways. So you have the medium configuration and the small configuration. So you don't have to do that beast of a configuration if you don't want to. But of course you want to do that one because that one looks just epic. And basically the way it works then, so obviously it's going to be different winning conditions in each scenario, but in campaign A, for example, you start by having the goal of taking out these bunkers, and you do so with a lot of special rules because, first of all, these are the multiplayer rules, and you have to... see if I can get my camera to focus. You have to keep going in the book until you reach the army of 1 icon. So here starts the solo rules for the first campaign. So you have the briefing, you have your objective here, conquer all 3 bunkers using the war correspondence as quickly as possible, and then you have a bunch of special rules. So here we're actually looking at D-Day Dice being quite a complicated game. So each campaign, there's 3 campaigns, and each campaign consists of a set of raids. So the first campaign has 3 raids, and the first raid is the beachhead, and that's going to consist of the first 3 maps. Let's go back to the maps. So that's the first raid is consisting of these 3 maps, right? And once you complete it, you conquer the bunkers, you are moving on to the next raid, which are these 3 maps. I'm hoping I'm making some sense of this, okay? So the second raid is called Breakthrough. You have a new objective, conquer any 1 bunker, so you only need to conquer 1, and then you have a bunch of new special rules for that specific raid. It moves on into the last column of, or the last row of maps, and we have the last raid, which is raid A3 Spearhead. We have a new objective here, visit all sectors 10 to unlock the bunkers, and then conquer all final bunkers and let all resistant prisoners reach the allied lines. And then we're gonna have special conditions and special rules to do that. And that's just the first scenario. Then we have the second scenario is just 3 maps, but then you're gonna get another row of maps, and these are all airborne maps. So these are going to be an airborne mission, and we see here we're gonna keep going until army of 1. So here's all solo rules. So we have the raid 1 there, and then we have the second raid. It works just like the same, and this one only consists of 2 raids. And the last campaign, again we have one of these beast maps. You can combine up to 9 maps. If you don't want to do that because you're boring, you can do it this way. And again, we go to our solo rules, and we have first raid here with an objective, and it goes on just like the other ones, except this one has 3 raids. And that's the way the campaign, that's the best way I can, in a short amount of time, explain how the campaign works. I hope you understand, just a little bit how it works. I am planning to do a playthrough video of this because this is really an epic way to play for people calling D-Day Dice for D-Day Yahtzee, because it isn't true. This game can be so complex depending on what modules you add and how many modules you add. This game can be very complex, and the campaign proves that. So that's why I'm looking forward to sharing this expansion with you. And again, like I said, many people ask me which expansions should I get, and I always say start with if you have no expansions, you should start with Way to Hell and what's it called, War Stories, then get Atlantic Val, and then last get the Overlord expansion, because this one kind of requires all of the other big box expansions to be able to be enjoyed. A fun thing with this one is that it has this list on the back of the scenario book showing where we can find all of the maps. And yeah, that is also something I forgot to show you here, because we actually have one more battle map which is used for the campaign. So this is, number 24, I showed you that. But on the back of that, we have Gold Beach, a special Gold Beach with only one bunker. And this one is going to be used for the campaign game. So this is a special scenario. And again, at the back of the campaign book, we can find this really cool list which shows up us where we can find all of the different scenarios or the battle maps. And we can see here that Gold Beach, we have an alternate version for Overlord, which is called number 3B. And you can see here also from the base game, we get 12 scenarios. In Way to Hell, we get 5. In Atlantic Wall, we get 6. And we also get 6 from War Stories and 1 scenario in the Overlord expansion. So this list is a good list to have. I'll let you take a moment if you wanna print screen. Save this list, good list to know where to find some maps. Perhaps you're especially interested in airborne maps, then the War Stories expansion is something you want to get. If you like beach maps, well, Way to Hell is the way you want to go. And Atlantic Wall has some very special, interesting maps, so then you want to get Atlantic Wall. Okay guys, I'm feeling out of breath because I've been trying to explain how the Overlord module works without giving you a headache. But yeah, basically it turns the scenarios much larger, much longer, much more complicated, and much more fun. So there is something to be had there. But again, you want to own the other big box expansions before you get this one. Okay guys, thank you for staying here with me and listening to my rambling. Thank you for enjoying D-Day Dice with me. Next up is the small box expansions, which I wouldn't call them vital, but if you are a hardcore fan, you definitely want to have those as well. And they are also a little bit confusing on what's actually included and what you need to have to enjoy them fully. So I'm gonna do reviews of those as well, so stay tuned to my channel, subscribe, all of that stuff. Again, thank you for watching guys. See you next time.